Alright, so welcome back to some more MX versus ATV Supercross Encore. Today, this could very well be the final part. We'll kind of talk about that throughout the video. At least the final part before MX versus ATV All Out comes out. So we'll have to see. I wanted to do something kind of fun. So here's the EDX 650 fully upgraded and the ATV 650 fully upgraded. It was kind of a grind to get them all unlocked and get all the parts unlocked. And I'll kind of talk about that and how you do that if you are curious and you're still wondering after however many years the game's been out. But we're going to take a peek at the ATV 650 fully upgraded. This is kind of the stats. Now, I believe the stats are basically exactly the same on the bike and the quad, but they're totally different. They're totally different when you're using them in the game. One's way more fun to use than the other one. I'm not going to go over in depth the exact parts I have on it. They're pretty much the same parts that you can use on the other quads, same parts you can use on the other bikes, and so on and so forth. I just kind of wanted to show you what the stats look like. Like the power is obviously way up, but what I think I noticed the most is the traction. I know it doesn't look as bad as the braking, but the traction is just, ooh, it's really bad. The chassis isn't terrible once you get the factory upgraded chassis, but I don't know. We'll see how things go, and we're going to jump into rhythm racing to kick things off here. Okay, so we're going to use the EDX 650 first here. I don't remember what track this was. Now, the more I was using this bike, the more I realized I was using it kind of wrong here, but the bikes, it has its moments where it's kind of fun to use, especially when it's fully upgraded like this. You can hit some really big lines, but the more I was using it, because I don't use it very often, I realized that you really don't have to take it out of first gear. It's a little more similar to the quad, kind of. It has its differences, but it's a little more similar to the quad, and we'll kind of talk about that when we get to that point. But yeah, you can hit some really big lines, and the bad handling doesn't matter that much because you just have to go in a straight line. You don't have to actually hit a corner or anything like that. And the chassis really isn't that bad. I mean, you have a decent amount of control. I mean, I don't think as much as the 250 or the 450, but it's not that terrible. Now, this is the ATV 650. I hated this thing. I was raging the whole time. I can't stand this thing. I can't. A lot of the quads, at least the 450 quads, once they're fully upgraded, you can basically use the manual transmission, leave it in first gear, and clutch boost, and get this stupid clutch boost, this insane clutch boost, the biggest clutch boost in the game, and hit these crazy big lines. This thing doesn't have that first gear clutch boost, and it's a 650, not the 450. It just didn't feel like it had any power, like none. It had like zero power, and the handling was awful. This is the worst handling. I don't know, I guess I gotta say vehicle because I'm comparing it to the bike and the quad, but it's the worst handling thing in the game. It's just awful. It's just terrible. And now we're at A1 with the EDX 650, and I kind of use the bike the way that I was talking about earlier, that you don't really need to take it out of first gear. You just leave it in first gear and mad clutch boost, and then throw big preloads over everything. You can kind of see when I'm clutch boosting because of the blinking light in the bottom right corner there, but you can hit some of these huge lines super easy. You don't need any momentum. You just kind of take your time around the corner, clutch boost like crazy, and boom, you can do it. It's not as fast as if you were using like the 450, for example, and just hitting all your lines, being smooth, carrying your speed around the corners. Yeah, I still think that's a lot faster. But let's say you're new to the game and you just want to try and hit some of these really big lines. Let's say you can't do it on the 450 or the 250. Just upgrade this 650, clutch boost, and preload, and you can hit these. It might not be as fast as the 450, but it's still fun. And that's why I'm saying that this bike has its purpose when it's kind of fun. I actually enjoyed using it. It was awkward. It was kind of difficult at first because the handling's still really iffy, but it's kind of fun, especially once it's upgraded. I don't like the bike, okay? Don't get me wrong. I don't like the bike, but I like it a little bit more now that I have it upgraded and realized that I guess basically you just treat it like the quad. First gear clutch boost for the win. That's all you have to do to hit some of these really wicked huge lines. And then we're going to switch over to the quad, the ATV 650 here at A2. Now, this took me forever to get these laps because I wanted to get halfway okay laps. Crashes, fine. Going off track, fine. But it was just awful. I could not use this thing. The handling is awful. It is terrible. It does not have the clutch boost. If you're used to the clutch boosting on the quad, you're not going to have it here. And if you're good on this thing and want to defend it, please do in the comments. Let me know how you use it because with the manual transmission, it just does not work very well. And I don't see any reason to use this thing over the 450. The 450 quad is far superior to this. It's just awful. It's like they switched places. The EDX 650 is more like the quad, the way it is used, and this thing's a little bit more used like the bike, where you kind of run it through the gears, even if it's really quick. Downshift real quick, upshift real quick. It just, I don't know. The 450 is far superior, and I'll switch over here after we finish this lap, and I'm using the Suzuki 450 and kind of show you what I mean when I say massive clutch boosting. It's similar to what we were doing with the EDX 650, but you can kind of see, and then you can tell that, okay, right here, the Suzuki 450, far superior. And I never take it out of first gear. I mean, sometimes I accidentally do, because when I'm preloading, I upshift accidentally, but pretty much just leave it in first gear and clutch boost and preload. Some of these huge lines, we're gonna hit a quad here. On the bike, that's really hard to hit that on the bike. It's so easy. It's so easy on this thing. So don't tell me that the quad doesn't have an unfair advantage with clutch boost, or yeah, clutch boosting. It has a huge unfair advantage with clutch boosting. Now, it does kind of even itself out because the quad likes to swap around a lot and get kind of sideways. Plus, it's just really awkward doing that, mashing the clutch all the time. But for hitting big lines, just straight up big lines, the 450 quad has an unfair advantage over the bike. It really does. It takes less skill to do it on the quad than it does on the bike. I'm not saying quad guys aren't skilled. I'm just saying it's easier to clutch boost and hit it. I'm going to hit a huge line here after we finish this little bit of lap here, and then you'll see that just, it's stupid. It's really stupid how much clutch boost this 450 quad has. Okay, and to put some final thoughts into the ATV 650, we'll switch over to the EDX 650 to wrap up the video, but for now, we're going to kind of put some final thoughts into this bad boy. To unlock both of these, quote, vehicles, the ATV 650 and the EDX 650, you have to do the career. You basically have to do all the bike part of the career to get the EDX 650 and all the quad part of the career to unlock this quad and finish, I believe, first, second, or third. So basically, you have to do all of the career and finish in first, second, or third to unlock both of these. Now, to do the upgrades on them is a different story. You actually have to use both of them. You have to do... It's a little bit difficult for me to tell, because with the bike, I had done a few races during live streams, a couple times for videos, so I'm not 100% sure, but I wasn't counting exactly, but you kind of have an idea. I think with the quad, I want to say I did 10 to 12 races, 3-lap races with the quad before I unlocked everything. You unlock it in stages, so I unlocked one set of things after like 3 races, another set of things after another 3, and so on and so forth. So you unlock it in stages, and the last stage is the exhaust, which is what I really wanted, thinking that, oh, hey, you know, it'll be like way more wicked than the 450, and it's not. It's not. It has a first, second gear clutch boost kind of, but not like the 450. Now, the thing different about it is it feels like with the quad, when you use the manual transmission, you kind of get off the gate really slow, off the starting gate, and you have to mad clutch boost to get it going. This 650 feels like in first and second gear, it gets off the gate a bit quicker, but that's it. It just kind of levels off. It doesn't keep getting faster. It's really weird. It feels like it's better off the gate, but you have to run it through the gears more. You can't just clutch boost in first or second like you can with the 450. And the handling is awful, guys. It is awful. It is awful, awful, awful. Maybe if you used it day in and day out for all these years, you'd get good at it, but it is terrible. It's the worst handling thing in the game. I can't stand it. It was not worth the grind of the ATV career to get it unlocked. It was not worth the 10-12 races to grind to get the upgraded parts. If you're a big-time quad fan, maybe it is just because you like quads. I mean, for me, the EDX 650, I love bikes, but I don't really care about the 650. I do it more for you guys because you want to see it and know how to unlock it and stuff. But if it was just me, I personally don't really care. But I can see where, okay, I like bikes. It's kind of cool to have that thing. So if you like quads, I get that maybe you want to have this thing unlocked, but do yourself a favor. The 450 is far superior. The 250 is far superior. They're just better, all in all. The quads in general handle a bit weird sometimes and can get, I don't know, just for me at least, they get out of control really easy, but they have that clutch boost. So it kind of evens itself out. But yeah, the grind to get this thing, finish the career, the entire quad part of the career in first, second, or third, and then do 10 to 12 races. You can just do 3-lap races on the shortest tracks you can find. Finish those races, and eventually you'll unlock everything. It takes a couple races to unlock stuff, so don't worry, you're doing it right. It takes 2 to 3 races to unlock certain things. And you can unlock 3 sets of things, I believe, before, like, upgrades. 3 sets of upgrades. I keep saying things. 3 sets of upgrades before it's done. So there you go. That's my thoughts on the ATV. The ATV 650. Not my cup of tea, really, but people wanted to see it, so this is it. And we're gonna jump over to the EDX 650. Alright, and here we have the EDX 650, fully upgraded, same bike we were using earlier. Basically, we're here at Squall Valley, and we're going to throw down some huge jumps. We crashed quite a bit, but it was kind of fun just to kind of go around and mess around and go flying through the air. So, what I was talking about is you use this thing kind of like the quad. Now, I just left it in first gear, and watch our speed here. We just kind of... It's like when you leave it in first gear, it's like you have the automatic. You know what I mean? It's weird. You don't have to shift. It keeps getting faster in first gear. It doesn't peak out on anything or whatever. It's basically like you have the automatic, but then when you really need it, you can clutch boost, like with the 450 quad, and get this huge clutch boost. It was a lot of fun doing this. I know we crashed quite a bit, but it was a lot of fun flying through the air like that. I know people don't like this game, excuse me, because of the because of how unrealistic it is and how huge the jumps are. But I'll tell you what, I had a lot of fun in Squall here, just hitting these huge ramps, going flying with this 650 fully upgraded. But I already kind of talked about it in the quad part of this, that to get this bike, you have to finish all the bike part of the career. So basically just do the whole career and then use the bike 10 to 12 times in single races, or I think you can do it in multiplayer too, and eventually you will unlock everything. It unlocks in stages, so after 2 or 3 races you'll unlock a bunch of stuff, but it might not unlock everything. And so like on the 10th or 12th race, it'll unlock the exhaust upgrade. That's one of the last things, so don't freak out if you don't get it right away. It just takes some time. Just race with it a few times, and yeah, eventually it will unlock everything. But this bike was actually a lot of fun to use. I don't like it. Don't get me wrong, I don't like it, but I like it more. I already said that I like it more after having it fully upgraded. Someone had mentioned this already. It handles a lot better than you would think it does. With the factory chassis, it's not bad. It's not the 450, it's not the 250, it's certainly not the 2-strokes, but it's not that bad. I'd say it's maybe more comparable to the 500. I don't know. I still think the handling's trash on it, but I think it's fun. I think for free ride it's fun. For waypoint it's fun. Maybe even for the nationals. I just don't really like the nationals. I just think they're weird in this game. I think they worked better in Alive than they do in this one. So I'm really pumped for the new game because getting some all new from the ground up. I'm really pumped for that. But yeah, I think it has its purposes. Free ride, stuff like that, like we're doing right now. It was fun. I mean, I don't really care for free ride in these games that much, but I actually was kind of fun hitting these huge lines with this EDX 650 and free ride. So it has its purpose. I think it's worth unlocking. Against what I was saying with the 650 quad, I don't think that thing is worth unlocking. I think it's trash. I think it's just terrible. This thing I think is worth it. And I think if you just buy the game, you know, you won't really probably have much trouble unlocking this because you're already going to be kind of grinding the career anyways. For me, I played this game on so many different platforms and worked on the career kind of so many times to unlock certain things that I just it was such a grind. It was a grind to begin with. I want a moto game company to make a career that's actually meaningful, that has a purpose, that's fun and progressive. Milestones does a pretty good job at doing it. It's more realistic, but people talk about starting on the little bikes and then going through like the amateurs and so on and so forth to become a pro. I think that'd be really cool. I think it would be something that people would buy. People would want to play and pick up, but we've yet to see that. Maybe someday we will. I'm kind of doubting we're going to get that with any of the new games this year, but that doesn't mean that the next set of games won't be like that. So make sure you guys are vocal in telling these companies what you want, because even though you want to say that they never listen to us, they never listen to me, they actually do listen to you. They might not get everything that people say or everything that you want, but they are listening. They are trying to make you guys happy. So, or find a kind of an in the middle to please the hardcore sim guys and to please the super casual guys that don't know much about anything. They just want to pick the game up and learn through the game. So they're listening. Just keep giving feedback and I'm sure things will keep getting better. But that's kind of my thoughts on the 650. It's worth it, and if you're new to the game, it'll for sure be worth it because you won't have grinded the game out on like 10 different platforms. I mean, I grinded the game out of Supercross or Xbox 360, Xbox One a little bit because I could get the tracks there sooner. The PS4, PC, there was somewhere else, I don't remember. Oh yeah, my nephew's too. So not just my Xbox One, but my nephew's Xbox One. So 5 different times I've had to play the career. Not all the career, but enough to do certain things. And it just got redundant really, really quick. So it's worth it. Have fun. But like I said, guys, this is kind of possibly going to be the last Supercross Encore video, at least until MX vs. ATV All Out comes out. I'm not 100% sure when you're going to see this. I know when I'm recording it. Also, sometimes when I record Supercross Encore videos, as well as other motocross things, Feld loves to drop a little copyright claim saying that they own all the content in this game. Supposedly it's a bug or something, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I believe it, but yet I kind of don't because they just seem to not want to release the videos. So you will either see this video on time or you might be seeing it way later because they like to hold on to the video for 30 days, for 30 whole days before they give it up or release it or whatever you want to say. So hopefully, no matter what, this video gets uploaded before the new MX vs. ATV All Out comes out, because I thought it'd be something kind of fun to say that I 100% of the game and we have both 650 vehicles, quote unquote vehicles, fully upgraded, fully unlocked, and checking it out on some free ride and did some first person, did whatever I thought I could do. I mean, I've been playing this game for what, 4 years now? Came out in 2014, so by the time the new one comes out, 2018, if you go off of the years, it'd be 4 years, but we'll say it's less than 4 years, but we'll just say 4 because it'll look like that on the calendar. So I mean, we've been playing this game for years. There's not anything else that I can think of doing. Yes, there's faster lines to always hit, you can always get better, but as far as just videos for YouTube, I honestly could not think of anything else to do for this game than what we've already done. This is the last thing that I've never done. I've never unlocked the 650 quad, never, until this video. So there's a first for everything. Even after all these years, I still never did that. So it's done, accomplished, game 100% complete. Not all DLCs because I don't have the all-in edition, but I have all the tracks and stuff, and a lot of skins, not all of them, but a lot of skins I've picked up over the years. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Probably gonna have to throw a little edit in here because there's some really huge lines here at the end. There's this really sick line. Maybe I won't have to. Maybe if we keep going, you'll see it. Basically, we get down into where it looks like the washout is, kinda, and we ride that, and you can see in first gear, man. I mean, we hit like 135 kilometers per hour. Yes, I have mine in kilometers per hour, not miles per hour. It's just like it makes my brain think I'm going faster, even though I'm not. I am from the United States. It's just we go by miles per hour. Here's that huge line, just huge, and then it kind of works out to where we land just right. Really sick, really awesome. But that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. We'll probably come back to this some days eventually, but for now, this is what was gonna be dubbed as the quote final part for Supercross Encore. It's been a great run. I know a lot of people joined the channel through this, so thank you very much for that. And make sure to drop a like on this video if you made it this far, and if you're pumped for MX vs. ATV All Out. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you again for all the support, and until the next video, take it easy.